Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. Y'all know what it is. It's me, your boy Trey, and this is First Formation Morning Sports Talk. Coming and fall in with us as we get it going on today's sports topics from yesterday and what we know coming about. Conversations, all the same, nostalgic moments, however you want it, we'll give it to you. So come on, fall in, catch us this morning. Let's get ready to go. Allow people to get the formation. Make your way. We can talk about it. Yes. Plenty of stuff to talk about. Uh, as we know, today will be the start of the free agent period for NBA basketball. Seems like we just ended the season not too long ago and already seeming like it's going to get back into it. Work is never done. Work is never done. That's why it's always sensible to do something you love and make good money for doing it. What's good, Bishop? How you doing this morning, sir?
What's going on, WGO, WGO? What's good, everybody? How y'all living on this Thursday, man? After hump day? Here,
Plenty,
okay.
plenty to talk about this morning. Plenty to talk about this morning.
Plenty. Oh, we got a lot to talk about. What we got to talk about?
Yes, plenty to talk about. I ain't get the chance to put in what I want to put in, but plenty to talk about. How was your day yesterday, sir?
It was good, man.
Oh, uh, you see what's up. What's up? First, what we have NBA action, as you course. So this probably going to be the majority, the great amount of the show. When you look at it, ooh, a lot going on. Good, bad, indifference, craziness. Of course, as we know, today, Thursday, the 30th,
Mm-hmm.
we have the NBA free agents period starting today at 5 o'clock Central Standard, 6 o'clock Central Standard Time, to where everyone starts to negotiate, get the negotiations going. As we've heard plenty of talks and conversations, rumors, I guess you could say. Look at all these rumors. We can't take it no more, but
Every day.
yeah, what starts to happen is those rumors potentially can turn to negotiations, and then comes the 6th of July at 12 p.m. All those said rumors become
Surround
official,
every day.
become official, in which we just say it with our chests and be like, okay, this person is now a part. So yes, they negotiate. I guess you could say they have stuff in what's the term I thought about yesterday? Not in relation. It has the I guess gentlemen's agreements or agreements where it's like, okay, yes, I sign, and then they might do that, but 7 days later it can change. We can see Kyrie Irving staying in
Oh, no, we can't see that. No, we
we can
can.
see
No,
we
no.
can see Kyrie Irving staying in Brooklyn. 7 days later, he could be donning that purple and gold. We
No,
don't know.
we don't see that. No, we don't see that. That's not happening.
Just
This
saying.
dude here, man. I swear, man. This
Just
dude.
saying. So we have that. So interesting story. David Fizdale. David Fizdale. Last post was assistant coach for the Los Angeles Lakers. Once Darvin Ham came into the fray, he was released from being the Lakers assistant coach. David Fizdale, excuse me, goes from last a Lakers assistant to the associate GM for the Utah Jazz.
Mm.
Fired as the assistant coach.
Same day.
No, not the same day. He got
Oh,
fired. He got fired. He got fired like earlier in the month. So we
okay.
say 3 weeks. Fired 3 weeks ago from an
Mm-hmm.
assistant coach position. Got picked up to be the associate GM for the Utah Jazz 3 weeks later.
Okay.
That's a hell of a promotion for the most part. Although he does have 18 years of NBA experience. I don't think he ever played as an NBA player. However, he did have plenty of he was an assistant coach for a good amount of years. A couple of teams in which he assistant coach for. He did have two posts as a coach, head coach, where he was a head. I think he was a head coach in Atlanta, as well as a head coach in New York, and then his assistant coach. Lastly, he's been assistant coach with LA. I think he was assistant coach with Atlanta at one point. Assistant coach with the Lakers. Like I said, assistant coach with it was another team I forget, but now he is the associate GM for the Utah Jazz. Um, Interesting things going on in your neck of the woods there, Bishop, as some trades. A trade was um was put together.
Oh, in San Antonio, you talking about?
Yeah, San
Yeah, that's not.
Antonio. Basically, of course, the Atlanta Hawks, which is some of the biggest talk and the most talk right now this morning, I guess. The Atlanta Hawks make a trade with the San Antonio Spurs. It was a lot of grumbling. This was one of those rumors, but this one has
Where's the pick?
is no longer one.
The glass
The
room.
Spurs trade Dejounte Murray,
Mm-hmm.
up and coming guard,
Mm-hmm.
to the
Athens.
Atlanta Falcons for Danilo Gallinari. 2023 first round swap with the Charlotte via the Charlotte Hornets, which is protected. A 2025 first round pick, 2026 first round pick, and a 2027 first round pick. Now
Good Lord, that's a lot.
three first round picks, player and a player in a swap in the
So
first round for next year.
was it
Um,
all that? In my opinion,
it, it, it comes it remains to be seen. Like Javante has been, been hot, saying lately.
mm-hmm.
But he's a fairly new player. But I guess it was enough to put him in the backcourt. Him and now Trey Young.
Oof, I don't know about that, bro.
They basically gave up the next three. Spurs have given up the next three first round draft picks. Oh,
Oof.
correction. 2026 is a swap. It's a pick swap. So I guess if depending on who has the better or worse record, they swap for the better draft position.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
yeah. I don't know.
right.
Like you said, I don't know if that if that's.
All right. Yeah, I don't. That's a lot, man. You that we talked about. Who was it yesterday? We talked about that. The picks. Oh, the Knicks.
Oh yeah,
For
doing all they did to
yeah.
to position and don't know if that's. But the difference is, I mean, it's a little bit different, but I guess you could
Well,
say
they ain't
it's
got
the same at the
what?
same
Yeah,
time.
because Atlanta actually got old boy. He
Yeah,
already they
yeah, yeah,
got
yeah. He's in
compared to
position, like,
he's in yeah.
but now, what you don't know, just anything, but it comes out to be the same thing. Like if that value is
Right,
there, like I done gave up three
right,
first round picks, fostered the future for this guy, and hopefully he's worth it.
right. That part.
So what do you think? Does that type of stuff? What is the measuring stick for that though? Is are we talking about like Atlanta got to the Eastern Conference playoffs, Eastern Conference game without him 2 years ago. So what does? But this
They got
year,
to the playoffs too this year.
yeah, yeah. But I'm saying they went to the Eastern Conference Finals game
Oh, you talking
last
about the Eastern
year.
Conference Finals?
Yeah,
Right, right,
yeah. So they got to the playoffs 2 years in the last 2 years without him,
right.
without the with Gallinari because
Mm-hmm.
he was a teammate for that time frame.
Right.
And now last year they got to what the first round, second round, or whatever case like that.
Mhm,
It's like that.
mhm.
First round, I
That
think.
first round they got bounced out
Yeah,
after the
yeah.
first. Yeah.
So first round.
Mhm.
So when you bring in a Murray, what is the measuring stick? Because they've been to the playoffs. So is it
It-
now?
it-
Is it Is
he
it
might be that key. He might be that key ingredient, bro, that we talked about training, which that needs to get him over that final hump. Is
so?
he?
So that's the measuring stick,
Your opinion,
basically.
do you feel like he could possibly be that dude though to get him past the Easter Conference Finals? Could he be that possible key player to come in and say, "All right, plug him in. He's given us a greater opportunity to make it past the Easter Conference Finals." Do you think he's that dude?
So I don't know if he's that dude, but I think he probably definitely gives more than what the Gallinari probably would have given. When you look at it, the point difference. I mean, with the potentially the points scoring,
Mhm,
as well as Gallinari's a little older, so
mhm.
of course that is different positions for the most part. But
I
uh,
mean, and what didn't Atlanta pick up some stuff in the draft too? The Hawks.
did they? I don't think so. When I looked at it yesterday, I did I look at it yesterday. He might have. They might have.
I think
It could have been that. But yeah, just
the
like
Hawks.
BJ said, definitely. Now he has to be an elite Robin. He has to be. You know how they had the different like you have party Robin or something like that. You know what I'm saying? The
Mhm.
Dark Knight Robin. He needs to be
Yeah,
elite Robin.
yeah. He can't be just a regular back in 1960
Red,
Rob.
yeah,
Yeah,
red with the green.
yeah,
We need you to be the one that's sporting the all dressed in black Robin. That's what we need. But
yeah, yeah,
oh well, no, not what we need. I stand corrected. I don't need anything from you except for to take L's. For
yeah, yeah.
personally, that's Hurt. That's what Hurt needs. We, matter of fact, me and Hurt talked about this not too long ago. We was going back and forth while he was in Las Vegas, in which he was talking about he had his eyes on Dyson Daniels to be drafted by the Hawks, and it didn't happen. But I wonder is he satisfied? Is he cool with the three first round picks uh, and Gallinari for Murray?
Yeah, yeah. As Eric mentioned earlier, the Hawks have- they had the 16th overall pick. Um, they had the 16th overall pick. I'm still hold on. I'm still trying to
What's
see.
good, AP? Good morning, sir. Good
What
morning.
up, everything? What up? What up? What up? Um, the Hawks selected AJ Griffin with the number 16th pick.
That was on his pick they had.
They had no, they had let me see. Um, how how many? Hold on.
I think Atlanta is a team that needed those three picks.
What
Those
three picks?
the three first round picks they gave up.
Oh,
I think they would have been a team that needed them three picks. Ultimately, like we talking about the difference. Like you talking about Atlanta. We're not talking Atlanta versus San Antonio. It's a little different. We're not talking about San Antonio and Memphis. We're talking about Atlanta, ATL. But I mean, it remains to be seen
they
if
had
they ever.
so the Atlanta Hawks selected AJ Griffin from Duke with the 16th pick in the 2022 draft Thursday night. Atlanta also acquired the draft rights to the 51st pick, Tyrese Martin from UConn, and cash consideration from Golden State in exchange for draft rights to Ryan Rollins, the 44th pick. So they picked. Look like they only. Ooh, the number one selected. Yeah, yeah. I think they gave all their picks away, bro.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, all
that's
of
it's,
they,
so
they,
at least over the so now that even more so it needs to work out.
it really needs to work. It really,
Like BJ was saying, he needs to be the Chris Middleton
but
in
AJ
Milwaukee.
Griffin, he was that dude out of Duke, wasn't he? He was that other,
Yeah,
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 he was that
yeah.
other dude out
But
there
I'm saying like basically over there, that has to work at least for the next 4 years, 5 years,
at
for
least
the most
for,
part.
for it to be
Because
worthwhile for what they
even
did.
though we can't, even though we say that like we're putting in this, we're putting a lot of value on first round picks, but it's a little different. It's a little different in the NBA because you only get two rounds in which you're drafted. So,
Right.
so you that means there should be a lot going into just like if you've seen Hustle, they give you a look under the hood of what it goes like when you're looking at talent and you're
Mm-hmm.
evaluating talent.
Mm-hmm.
a lot goes into that process. You only get two
Facts.
rounds to make it right, unless you are a person that has multiple choices in those within those 2 rounds, to where you maybe can hit or miss here and there. But for the most part, you only get 2 rounds to make it right. So in this case, you can find value in the second round that might be better than the first round that you in which you played
Mm,
or what you picked. So it just depends. But um, that's a lot. They basically gave up their first round choices, and you don't know who's coming up
mm,
in these rounds either. You don't know what the player will be or who the player will be.
right. You don't. Facts. Straight facts.
But I think I would have rather kept my picks. I guess it depends on the value.
But you got to look, yeah, that and that's what I was just about to say. It all depends because you say you might have kept your picks, but then you got to keep in mind the owners, excuse me, the owners, the fans, the players, they want to win now, bro. And like you stated, there's twice they done made it to the playoffs without making it to the finals, NBA finals. So are you just saving those picks to in hopes that within the next 3 years or whatever that you can get somebody who may be able to get you past the first two, first 2 rounds, or do you go and pick up someone like they picked up and Devontae or however you say his name and
Javante,
Devontae, yeah, or do you go ahead and
Deshante.
with Deshante? Do you go ahead and pick him up now in hopes that we can get it done within the next year or two? You know what I'm saying? That you got to keep in mind these players because if you don't pick up no one, if you don't pick up Javante and you wait on these picks, how long you think what's his name gonna be satisfied being there in Atlanta without making it to the finals?
So
Um,
first and foremost, do we should we be basing off of if a player is going to be or is not going to be satisfied in being somewhere for the most part? I think that's where a lot of
yeah,
times where we start to fall, where it starts to fall short, where we base it on whether.
is he
So
not a franchise player right now in Atlanta?
yes, he is. But I'm saying, should it be based upon okay, we want to keep him happy, or should it be based upon we just need to build a better team? And sometimes it could be maybe it could be that player in which you're trying to build around that's the problem.
Oh, but are you saying that?
Not saying that for Trey, yeah, but I'm just saying in general. Like sometimes it can be like you look and try to do that, but then it's like come at the end state is like it could be saying the players because sometimes it just needs to change the scenery or just a new something different. Like a lot of times the coaches there's the coaches come in, take over a team that already has certain players there, and you try to build around that player as your coach. But ultimately that might be not might not be the best coach for your coaching style, or you probably could work better with a couple of different coaches. You know the old saying where there's like, do you rather have a superstar or two superstars, or do you want to have a bunch of above average players that gel well together?
So me personally, right? I totally get where you're coming from, Trey. Me personally, bro, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if it was me,
Hmm.
I probably would have tried and go after someone else. That's going to help Trey Young. And not saying Devontae or whatever is not going to, and not saying AJ Griffin is not going to, but I probably would have went after somebody like maybe a Harden, maybe a Westbrook, maybe a Kyrie. Nah, I wouldn't go for Kyrie, but maybe some Dallas Gobert, you know what I'm saying, a a Dallas Gobert. What am I?
Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, Rudy Gobert, Rudy Gobert, a big man who has DeAndre Ayton, something like that. That's what I'd have probably went in my if it was me.
A little more star power.
Yeah, right. Most
Even though Murray was a
he
All
was,
Star this year,
he was,
so
he was. And again, I'm not taking nothing from him. I'm not saying he's not going to be that perfect fit to get the Hawks over the hump. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that he's not that dude. However, we don't know. We don't know. And with him and AJ Griffin, and then Trey Young. They could be that. They could possibly be that tandem, next 3 man. That 3-headed monster out there in Atlanta to make some. And oh boy, what's his name? He's still out there too. Who you just
Collins.
yeah. So it's yet to be. It remains to be seen whether or not that could be
And
the
and that becomes, and I completely understand what I was saying. Like,
right
yes, teams want to do everything.
compete now.
Some teams are looking to
Right,
compete now. Some
right.
teams are looking to compete now with what they have.
And don't
Other
get me
teams
wrong,
are trying to get.
are rebuilding.
Yeah,
Some teams
some
are
teams are
rebuilding.
just going ahead like it's not even worth the picks and stuff like this. So like at this point, it's kind of pretty hard to gauge where
Hmm.
you can be or where you be at or who will be there and stuff like
Hmm.
that when you
Hmm.
have different ways or different avenues to get to the league now.
Hmm.
Where you can go from being one thing you looking at, okay, this player was maybe they used to be 2 to 4 years in which you was looking at players. Now it could be a year,
Hmm.
up to a year after they get. So now you the mortgage and got rid of certain things and you miss opportunity. So it just
Hmm.
depends. Like at this point, it's just all it's also all subjective conversation in which it has. I just think for me on in state, I mean, initially, I would be looking at my picks. Like with, the picks have value to some
Facts.
teams,
Without
so
facts.
that you know what I'm
Without
saying.
question.
So whether it's the value of a team picking up, getting a player for it, or using it to mortgage it to get it to another team that has a even huger that places a larger value
Hmm.
on first round picks. You know what I'm saying? For me, I'm looking at it like, whatever's going to get my team better. So if I have to get rid of those picks, I have to. We have a lot of teams that basically hoard and collect first round picks because
Hmm.
they use them as bargaining chips
Hmm.
for when you can see who potentially can be a first round or who the talent is coming in, and then they use it to be like, okay, maybe this team is go out and they go after that type of stuff. So it's strategy, it's all strategy, and now basically, in my opinion, Atlanta has given the Spurs a large some strategy. It's
Which
been
we
attacked.
know, which we know the Spurs are a rebuilding team. We
Yeah,
see
yeah,
that.
exactly.
Without
So
question.
that they gave him a lot of strategy chips because now, as opposed to going and building a team organically, they can sit up and use those picks to probably pick up and grab players that are basically in their prime or on the backside of the prime, but
Mhm.
still can give something to use this to pull players in for the most part. So I mean, it works. It's been a tactic in which Oklahoma, OKC has used.
Mhm.
Boston has used by collecting first round picks. Um, I foresee it's going to probably be something in which Phoenix probably gets into at some point. Danny Age is there, or is it wherever Danny Age is there? He's either in Phoenix or Utah now. So it's a
Mhm.
tactic, and saying he
Facts.
gets used a lot.
Facts. Straight facts.
What was I was saying? You have to bring all stars and dynamic players now, or they will never be able to compete. One
Mhm.
or two players is not enough.
And I understand where Al is coming from in regards to the way the league is set up right now. I just saw it on a post the other day or yesterday on Facebook. They showed 4 teams with the big three. You know what I'm saying? It was the Clippers. It was now the Clippers because Wall went over there. Of course, they had the
Hmm.
Lakers up there. They had the Nets up there, and of course, who's the other big three? Um, uh, who was it? It was somebody else. It was 4 teams. So I get where Alvin's coming from. That is what the league has come to today is the big three. If you don't have a big three, it's all. Oh, and of course the Golden State Warriors. If you don't have a big three, it's virtually impossible. I won't say virtually impossible. I'm stop saying it because no, because what's because
Memphis was pretty close, I think.
yeah, they were, but no, I was about to say Milwaukee didn't have a big three, but they did because they had PJ Tucker the year they won.
Well, no, they had they had Holiday,
Holiday, that's
Middleton,
Middleton, and then Giannis.
Giannis.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I'm talking about. Giannis.
But
PJ,
so
was there too, right? No,
yeah, he was there. But I
he
think
had
some of
a
these.
big
So
three.
I don't think I think we throw the term big three around loosely. Like some of these teams, they all big threes. They just have saying a couple of players maybe, and
Mhm.
then you have another player that stands out above the other players on the court. But, saying as an option, as a third option, and then they're tossed into then the term big three is tossed into it. Additionally, on the opposite side of the spectrum, that again in as well in because I don't see Golden State having a big three. They had a big three when they had KD there. I don't see them having a big three now, unless we're calling Wiggins because he was the number one
How,
overall pick a couple years ago,
no, but
or Draymond Green. Not with
Draymond Green.
Draymond.
They
Draymond is
they've been,
Draymond is
but they've been
Dray.
considering him as the big. They've been anytime they talk about the big three, they add Draymond into that equation.
Yeah,
When
I
it
don't
comes
see
to,
him. It might be like I said,
now,
that's
I
my
agree,
opinion. Yeah,
now I can honestly agree with you on that. I can't say that I don't necessarily consider Draymond a part of a big being a big three for them.
because I would look and see if you put him on any other team, I don't
He
foresee
wouldn't
he's
be
not
that.
the same play.
He
He's not
wouldn't
the
be that
same.
dude.
Yeah,
He wouldn't be that.
he may play the same, but he's not going to be considered a
He's not
big three.
right. Right. No, I totally agree with you 100%. Now, my question to you is, and this is it just dawned on me. Do you think this has anything? And when I say this, I'm talking about in regards to everybody and the analysts and the all of the journalists and stuff like that in regards to Big Three. Do you think this has anything to do with Ice Cube and creating the Big Three in his league? Do you think that they saw that what, and don't get me wrong, we know there's been big threes well before, but it
Big
was
three.
never being considered or being categorized as the big three. You know what I'm saying? We've always heard about the Twin Towers and so forth and so on, and the Kobe's and the Shaqs, things like that. But do you think it played any type of role because of the fact that Ice Cube created a league called the Big Three that has become very successful, and maybe it spilled over into the NBA and they felt that was a recipe for success going into trying to win an NBA title? It's just a question.
So in my opinion, to answer your question, my opinion, like, nah, it doesn't have anything. It's like even though Alvin feels, but so what it is in my opinion, uh, the NBA made it a hot line. Ice Cube made it a hot song. That's what it was. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Ice Cube basically took
took
it,
it,
made it,
remixed it.
yeah, took the term Big Three and turned it into a league
Mm,
of 3-on-3 basketball. So
mm.
it just, you know what I'm saying, it just lined up in that way. Um, what's going on, Coach
What up,
Uriah?
Coach
Good
Uriah?
morning. Good.
What up? What
So
up?
I think that's basically what happened. Like it was because we know, like you said, you just mentioned that it was already fashionable in
Mm,
the NBA prior to Q deciding to make it a league.
mm,
So no different than Tracy McGrady making the one-on-one league when people was doing one-on-ones a little before he decided to take it and make it and turn it into a league himself. So it's just one of those things. So it just happens that way. But no, I think it was way before that. Like you said, where they start doing it, where we start having big threes, and big threes probably were even there around before we start coining things as big threes for the most part. So it's been around for a while.
well, we say that, but can we really honestly like think back to, prior to it was being labeled as big three, what teams had one? I know Boston did when they
You
had
know who had the big three that wasn't
oh,
being it wasn't be called the teams wasn't be calling big three?
Miami.
No, I wouldn't even say Miami. uh Golden State, Run TMC, Chris Mullin, Mitch
uh,
Richmond, Tim Hardaway.
Tim Hardaway. Yeah, facts.
Yeah, that you know what I'm saying. So back then, you know what I'm saying, we had
And we can
that
say
was
the Chicago Bulls too. The Rodman, the Pippen, the Jordan. We got it.
well, even before that, you could say
With
Isaiah Thomas, Joe Dumars, and
and
and Dennis Rodman when he was
yep,
scoring. So
that
you know
too.
what I'm saying. So it's like so those teams weren't big threes, or you. I think big three start coming around when you put like Pippen, Barkley, and Drexler on the same team, or and stuff like that. That's when we start to see like the conversation and reference. But some of these teams had presumably big threes before.
Mhm.
James Worthy, Michael Thompson, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson. When those
Michael
like
Cooper when he was
yeah,
there.
those teams
Mhm.
were being built long before we even start using the term Big Three. So it just became just like the times. You find something so you ever sit and think about like, damn man, when you see an invention or something come out, a product that comes out, he's like, I could have thought about that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those things. Like it became like people wasn't three peating or doing, but of course Pat Riley coined the term three peat.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very sure people was you gotta look at when you have Boston that has won a plethora of championships way before Pat Riley even came into the scene, but
Mm-hmm.
yet Pat Riley coined the term three peat for a team winning three championships back to back to back. That happened way before his time. So it's just a matter of who can come up with a catchy phrase or whatever like that at that particular time, and that's just how it goes. Who had the best big three? Lakers, Bulls, or Boston?
Who had the best big three? Lakers, Bulls, or Boston?
Those are different eras, but it
Yeah,
probably was on
in each era, each team had a better had one better. The Bulls, like the one I just named, or
the.
Trey just named. The Lakers, which we talked about, and back when Cooper, Magic, and Kareem. And then Boston, we could talk about a few different ones when it was Paul Pierce, KG, and Ray Allen. So yeah, I mean, it depends on what era, Anthony P. But yeah, it's the big three is it. Like Trey said, it is what it is. They've been around. They just wasn't labeled as such. 1980s. I wonder how many people remember the NBA used to do one of them.
At
One
the
of
NBA games,
the
yeah,
it was
at the All Star games and stuff
All-Star
like
game.
that.
Yeah,
Like yeah, so it's stuff has been around.
absolutely, without question. But yeah, I just that was just something I had thought about, and I was like, and it's crazy that they've labeled it now, like you said, compared to it's been around for just that long, you know, 15, 20 years, 25 years that the big threes have been around, and they've never put it as such. Um, and now they've actually put a label to it. So it is what it is. Did you see KD's comment talking about he doesn't mind going back to Golden State? No, I didn't.
I didn't
Ooh,
either. Stop it. I hope that's not true. Don't
ooh,
do that.
I
Don't
did
do that,
not.
KG.
No,
Don't do that, KD. Don't
I
do
did
that.
not hear that. But do you blame him with the debacle going on with Kyrie and seeing that the Warriors won another championship? Do you blame him? It won't happen though because Draymond's still there. It won't happen. Good morning, Taylor May. What's good, Frat? What's good? What's good? I swear I seen it this morning. I mean, I'm not. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't think it will happen because the headbutting between him and Draymond, mm-mm. Especially after what Draymond had just stated right after the finals, after winning the championship about KD, we did it without KD, which I don't even know why that's a big subject about winning without KD. They won it before KD even made it there. So why did it even be? Why was it such a big issue or a big thing to win it again without KD when they initially won it without KD? Like, come on, man. We're talking about something that is really irrelevant. Kyrie is not being traded or released. He's exceeding his player option going back. Yeah, we saw that. We saw that. Steph wouldn't agree to KD return. You don't think so? See, I think so. The thing is, I think Steph and KD have a great relationship on and off the court. I really do. Now, Coach Hunter, really believe it's more that um, uh, Draymond is the issue, in my personal opinion. I do feel like Draymond is an issue, and I really feel like if Kyrie, I mean, if Steph had his way, and he could choose between Draymond and KD, I really feel like he would choose KD.
And
Oh,
see, and then again,
what
this
up,
comes
Keith?
back.
What up,
What's
Keith?
going on, Key? Good morning, good morning, good morning. And see, for me, again, it comes down to you don't agree to nothing. Like I don't need your agreements to sit up and make these moves. At
Right,
the end of the state, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't need your agreements. It might ask if I ask your opinion on it just to see how would you play, or we have the same situation. We don't want to have Draymond with the shenanigans again, talking about we don't need you. You know what I'm saying? We just did it twice without
right,
you. What you gonna
right.
say? You
That
need us more than we need you. And so
that
that type of stuff I can understand happening. But when I look at that, that's detrimental to the
the
team.
team, and
And
it's
so that makes
cancerous.
it where you're expandable.
Right. It's cancerous. It's like, why do you need to say that? Why does that even, like, again, when it's all said and done, Trey, like I said, they won before Kate even got there. So why is that even a factor of the whole situation?
Yeah, true. So you know what I'm saying? So
KD
that type
seeming
of stuff.
real what? Seeming
It's real Eddie
Eddie
Kanish.
Kane. Oh my
Strikes like this.
God.
I wish.
That's what fall.
Oh,
You want to be like me, Eddie Kane Jr. When KD was on the Warriors, who was the big three in Golden State? KD,
Clay and
Steph, without question. It wasn't Draymond. You know that. Draymond, just like Trey say, a lot of people don't even feel like Draymond's a part of the big three now. If you probably ask a lot of people with the Warriors team right now, Wiggins has pushed Draymond completely out the picture as a big three, in my opinion. I totally agree with Trey with that. Wiggins has definitely, because again, when it's all said and done, Wiggins was the uh, first overall draft pick. So Wiggins definitely pushed Draymond out. But a lot of people still want to put Draymond and it's because of the history in which he's had with the Golden State Warriors, in my opinion. But yeah, KD no cap. It is certified bus rider. Remove his time and Golden State. He
mm,
is partner. Ooh, is a certified bus rider. Wow, Coach Hunter. Remove his time and Golden State. He is James Harden. In regards to his Draymond is a big role player. I won't deny that.
yeah, we don't deny that.
I
It's
won't
just
deny
I don't
that.
see he's
I won't
not a
deny that.
big three, in
He's
my
not.
opinion.
He's not.
He does tangible things that put him in. I'll give him that. He's done enough tangible things or intangible things that put him in position to be big three where there isn't. But that was like Bishop was just saying. That's before Andrew Wiggins
Mm-hmm.
has came into the scene. So now you have Andrew Wiggins there. You kind of
Mm-hmm.
look at like just being able to be a stat filler, not a triple double filler, but a stat filler with 8 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists. That doesn't bode too well when you got a dude that's dropping 15,
Mm-hmm. That part.
6, and 4. You know what I'm saying? Those points, you know what I'm saying? 8 more points. So I don't know.
And my thing is like this, right? Do you win? This is my thing. Do the Warriors, and I'm asking you this, Trey, and anybody else, Coach Hunter, Alvin, Lestan, do the Warriors win this last NBA title without any of Draymond's stats?
I was just thinking that it's on surface. I would say no. Well,
Okay.
no. On surface, I could say yes, but a couple of things come in that as well, though. Because I say yes because I'm sure someone else could have picked up those points along the way.
Right
But
now, mind you, if we saying without Draymond, that means somebody else is filling that role.
yeah,
Now, don't
it's filling the role. So even
completely
someone is
taking
getting that.
out everything. Yeah,
But
right.
what I think
And in
happens
particular,
is
Wiggins. In particular, let's just say
yeah,
Wiggins is yeah. Okay,
yeah.
go ahead.
But I think Draymond's motivation, his hustle and stuff like that, that that's very valuable. And I think that played a huge part in some of those games. So you have that portion of which probably no one else is doing that or doing any of that or making those plays or even doing anything that's going to remotely to that. So that's where Draymond comes in to be helpful because he has those things that aren't teachable, things that aren't going to show up in the stat sheets, basically.
Mhm.
That's where the difference is made. And so that's the point in which you be like, that is the part in which, from my personal opinion, is where they would lose because you don't have him to make those hustle plays that basically gets the team juices flowing, or you don't have him, you know what I'm saying, being that agitator that gets that causes the other team's players to second guess or get themselves in trouble. Because let's be honest, if you remove Draymond, hence a technical, um, removing Draymond compared to removing Al Horford, Jalen Brown, or Jason Tatum, it
Mhm.
doesn't line up. The difference doesn't line up. It's not, you know what I'm saying, that's going to hurt a team like Boston more than it would hate the Golden State Warriors when you come to if you talk about a big three, Marcus Smart, Jalen Brown, and Jason Tatum compared to um, Clay,
Mhm.
Steph, and quote unquote Draymond. If you lose Draymond, it's going to be more losing one of the Boston big three would be more detrimental to losing one of the losing Draymond.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Coach said remove Draymond and they win nothing.
Ooh, wow. Ooh, that's.
And that part, yeah, that's exactly what it is, Alvin. So that is that part, like that, those things in which, like I said, doesn't show up in the stat sheets, or the stat line is what is where Drayon is the most overpowering and enduring. So that is the portion for me. But saying points is a little. We can't say 2020. We can't even say that because we don't know if someone else, if Steph gets 54 as opposed to 43 if Draymond's not there. So we just don't know.
Hmm.
But he really does make a difference in that aspect.
Yeah. Mhm.
No, that's not what I'm saying, Anthony. Looney is.
Wait,
I don't
replace.
even know why Looney is in this conversation or how he gets into conversations, but that's just my personal opinion. They say they talk about him like he does the same things that how we talk about Draymond. Like he gets offensive rebounds and stuff like that, but it's not consistent. Excuse me, it's not consistent. The consistency in Looney, but yet he's heralded. So I mean, I guess so. We had the same for JaVale McGee. That's who he reminds me of, a JaVale McGee type.
Mm, mm. I feel you on that. So, how do you feel about this, Trey? This statement.
Nah, I think you see. I think so. I'm not a. We play around, but when it comes down to it, like for me personally, when it comes down to it, I don't talk that talk. I don't talk. I don't do all that talking like that. So we remember what happened with LeBron,
Not
Chris
one,
Bosh,
not new, not two, not
not
three,
three,
not
not
four.
four. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That type of talk when what I'm saying, people hold on to that, and
Yeah,
that's what you be looking for.
people
So
playing that, like people
it's
playing that back to this day.
yeah, it's what I'm saying. So it's conversation, but I don't believe in. I'd rather be it, what I'm saying, or even at least I could see saying it
Mhm.
once and letting it lay there, and then make it happen. That's the end state.
If they stay healthy, it's highly likely. Okay,
Nah,
I hear
it's
you. I hear you. I hear you.
what I always think
What's
is
that?
no matter what I always think is no matter what, these teams that win these championships and be like, okay, we saying stay healthy, run the same team back, bring them back. There's always a team or two that is out there getting better. Just like we discussed yesterday, there's always a team or two or three that were not healthy
Mm-hmm.
and they come back healthy, and they're a problem when they come back healthy. Yeah, some teams that were a problem when they wasn't healthy, and it's just certain things. So it's just hard to do, to repeat and repeat and repeat for the most part.
But,
Unless
but
you just
haven't they
have.
done that? Haven't they really kind of like done that already though?
So
Because
yeah,
they
they've been to 6 of 8. They've
and
been
then
to
they
six
won.
of eight.
Yeah,
They've been to 6 of 8. They won
they won
four
four.
of six.
Right. So
Uh,
they've kind of already done what he's already saying about that they're going to do again in a way. When you really sit back and think about it, they've actually done it already. So
but I just think
they can sit.
I
He's
think it's
really
starting to be a little bit different. Like teams are getting better. We're getting into the era where teams are. So what we have to realize is Golden State. Yes, they did. Golden State won what? One. They won one prior to KD getting there, right?
right, and then two with him.
Then they won two with him, and then
Hmm.
they lost two without him.
Right,
I
and
mean,
then
they lost two with him. They won two with him, lost two with him. Of course, he was injured in one. Clay was injured in one. So
mhm,
they became the team that wasn't healthy. And then they go 2 years without winning one because they're down. Clay wasn't there. They wasn't full strength. And then Clay comes back. They have all the team for the most part with a couple of additions, and then they win another one.
mhm. So he's just saying three of the next four though.
Nah, I just personally don't see it.
Mm.
I don't personally see it. Not with the current roster, because I just see I just see teams are getting better or teams are coming back. Like we still haven't seen we still haven't seen a healthy Lakers team. I mean, correction, Clippers team.
Right, facts.
We haven't seen a healthy Clippers team. Now they added a wall, if that makes a difference. And then we're just talking about teams in the West now.
Yeah.
We haven't seen the Denver squad full strength with Porter and what's his name that's been out for 2 years, the
Mm-hmm.
point guard, and
Mm-hmm.
Jokic.
Mm-hmm.
That you know what I'm saying that's you know what I'm saying that could
You seen
potentially
a
be a
healthy
problem.
Phoenix Sun, a
Yeah,
Phoenix team,
potentially a Phoenix team that's
a
healthy,
Dallas team.
a Dallas team, a Laker team. Like it's
Yeah,
teams out there that haven't been fully
out there.
healthy and they've been winning off that, and that's just in the West alone.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, right. Facts.
so it's like that's why I say that's going to be pretty hard. Now if they're able to do it with him saying it, and if they're able to do it, then of course you know what I'm saying I'll be the first one to be like, okay, you know what I'm saying y'all Golden State did that. It's so why is it when I say Lakers and it's truthful, it's got to sit up and be pointed out. That's the truth. The Lakers when healthy is a problem. A lot of teams when healthy is a problem, but the Lakers, even in their old age, if healthy, is a problem. LeBron James poses a problem all by himself. AD is healthy, uh, is a problem. Is a problem. Just say it. Now you ask a Westbrook if Westbrook could get it together, it's a problem. That's more so than a problem. Not to mention whoever they probably bring. Malik Monk showed up. He was our version of. He was the 2022 version of what KCP was. As a matter of fact, speaking of KCP, he's on the move now.
Mm.
As of course, another trade was put into place as Uh, Denver basically traded for. Made a trade sending Contavious Caldwell Pope
Hope.
and Ish Smith to the Wizards. I mean, to the Nuggets for Monte Morris and Will Barton, another player that's been around for a little bit. So now you have that trade. KCP now in back I'm back on the West Coast
Mm-hmm.
with Denver. So I don't know. Ish Smith is now with his 13th team in the NBA. So he's been on 13 of the 30 teams in the NBA. Been being a player with the most NBA appearances on team appearances. So I mean now you know what I'm saying it's a different.
When do you think the power shift went from the east to the west?
When LeBron went to the West. I mean, it was already out there, honestly. So it was before LeBron, actually.
What
I,
power shift? When you say power shift, what do you mean? What are y'all referring to?
being the West being the dominant conference.
How is that when the East won last?
Overall
Okay, I was
dominant.
gonna say
Yeah,
because the East won last.
because the East been winning, could win shit. So I'm just saying overall, because it's one of those situations, just like we talk about in the NFL, we believe that the AFC, just like last year, the NFC West beat up on each other. The AFC West, we expect to be up on each other this year, and where it's going to become a situation to where it's like, yeah, they beat up on each other, and that weakens the structure like how they talk about SEC. Like SEC is a dominant conference, but you have other conferences that are more. They have teams that beat up each other and weaken the structure. And then SEC has one or two dominants. Alabama comes out, and then that's what you have. So, but overall, I don't know, Alvin. That I think that structure, in my opinion, that shift came. I don't know. I had to go looking for that. I would say LeBron, but it wasn't. It was weak when LeBron was in the East, and they just felt like he was running through the East. So he came to the West, and now it has been a little more open since he's came to the West. So, but it's still the West was still, I think, even was dominant then.
Mm.
I think the shift happened when Phil Jackson went to the West Coast and started coaching the Lakers.
Mm. Okay. Okay.
Going through the conversation. So it's back to every team overall. So yeah, we had that. Of course, some more stuff to talk about in reference to, as we know, like we said, free agency starts today. We got football coming. Don't worry, we got you, Alvin. Is putting
Yeah, it ain't going nowhere. It's
yeah.
definitely
Free agency, free agency, free agency. As we know, unfortunately, it's a this is double ended.
double-edged sword.
Yes, it's a double-edged sword. Charlotte extends a qualifying offer to both forwards Miles Bridges and Cody Martin. Of course, as we know, extending the full offer gives the opportunity, makes the player a restricted free agent, and gives the opportunity for the team, potential losing team, to match any offer sheet that a gaining team can get. If no team steps up, then there's an offer set on the table for 1 year for that player to play. and then decide even if they get the extension or they are go enter free agency the next year. But additionally to that, Miles Bridges was arrested for
Mhm.
felony domestic for a felony domestic assault.
Yeah, I heard about
His
that.
bail was set at $130,000, and of course, since last night, it happened late Wednesday. So since then, he has gotten out of jail. But that's interesting. Now, I wonder, does that have any bearing on what Charlotte is or isn't doing with him when you have when you have this situation?
Mm, good question. Charlotte is going to cough that money for Bridges. Mm. Hmm.
Uh, Of course, additionally, other extensions or qualifier offers. Anthony Simons, the little standout in Portland, was given a qualifying offer sheet, um, in which same scenario, which Portland seems to be doing a little building over there. I think they're going to look at some point giving Damian Lillard
Mm.
extension and looking to build around him and maybe a backcourt of Anthony Simons is not yet to be. It has yet to be seen. Of course, we'll see coming a little further. Um, Sacramento, Sacramento Kings did not decline the option on guard Dante Vincenzo option, making him an unrestricted free agent. He has a little. He That would be a player like him. I don't mind getting to LA for the simple fact of a shooter. We need shooters in LA, so maybe we could get him on the low, possibly.
Mm.
Uh, so I asked a question to you, Bishop. I know these.
He's
Um,
John Wall's going.
yeah, he's already gone.
He's gone. He's already gone. Go ahead.
He should be getting ready to make it through waivers and
Right.
yeah, and sign as a free agent.
Yep.
So I have a couple of questions, and these are a little more. I know one is you seem to have an affinity or a deep love for DeAndre Ayton. So I asked this question. One of a couple of questions I have for you. Will any team, or do you think there's a good amount of teams that will be willing to do battle for his services with Phoenix, as far as the sheets and offering or matching or anything like that, or do you think he stays in Phoenix unequivocally and unmatched?
No, I think so. In my opinion, I feel like if I was Phoenix, I would try to do everything. I feel like because to me, I don't even understand why they are even shopping the idea of letting DeAndre Ayton go. In my
Hmm.
personal opinion, I don't even understand why they even doing that. But if because I would keep him,
Hmm.
uh, um, outside of that, yes, if they do choose to allow Aiton to walk and go somewhere else, oh yeah, he's definitely a hot commodity. I feel like somebody is definitely going. Again, like we spoke about again, Atlanta. That would be a team that he could probably go there and make some moves and make some things happen. If they exactly, he's staying in Phoenix. If not, they stupid as hell. I agree with you, Alvin. I feel like it. I don't know why. Like I said, I don't know why Aiton is even a topic of being moved, but obviously it's something that they dislike about him in Phoenix. Um, and it's crazy to think that that's the case, but yeah, he's definitely if he ends up on the market, somebody's gonna grab him real quick, without question.
Mm.
My opinion.
Uh, so, of course, going into additional another question: do you think, in which I know they was just talking about? I think so. I seen someone speaking about it earlier. Do you think that the whole Kyrie Irving thing is done? Is he staying in
Oh yeah,
Brooklyn, or do
oh,
we think?
Kyrie is it's done. It's a done deal. Kyrie ain't going nowhere, man. Kyrie is gonna be in Brooklyn. He gonna talk to KD. He gonna apologize to KD behind closed doors and be like, "Bro, my bad, man. My bad. We finna go get this thing." Yeah, Kyrie staying. Now the thing is, the question the question should be: is KD gonna accept that apology and stay along with him? That's the question. Because we do know KD, you know what I'm saying, he is on a contract or whatever, however, but sometimes people get tired of dealing with unnecessary drama and may not feel like doing what he's doing. Again, we might remember KD pretty much left Golden State because of the drama between him and Draymond, for the most part. So again, I don't see it. I won't say I don't see, but if KD is sick of the drama and the nonsense out there in Brooklyn because of Kyrie, it wouldn't be surprising if KD was to leave. And everybody's thinking about Kyrie leaving. I'm just saying. And then Kyrie
Mm.
stuck right back to where he was 2 years ago, 3 years ago without KD, which would be detrimental for the Nets as well as and you know what? If KD was a walk, I think I'm honestly believe if KD was a walk, Brooklyn would probably get rid of Kyrie as well. Even after all that they've done, I feel like they would push him away and let him go too. Because
Mm.
I feel like Brooklyn feels like there's if we lose a KD, we lost KD because of Kyrie, so there's no need for us to keep Kyrie. So just how I feel, man. To be honest, that's just me.
So on the opt-in tip, who smoothed out on the opt-in tip, we had a lot of opt-ins. Of course, some more bigger than others. Bradley Bill
Mm-hmm.
opts out of his 36 million option, which he still can. And which so first, before we go into this, I want to make sure that we understand that fully understand that just because a player opts out doesn't mean that they
Yeah.
don't play with the team they opted out from. It
Right.
just gives them the opportunity to make more money
Right.
for the team. So, of course, in this situation, Bradley Beal opts out of his contract with Washington, with the Washington Wizards,
Mm-hmm.
which he leaves 36 million on the table for this year. But Bradley Beal can collect additional money because he can re-sign with the Washington Wizards if he deems that that's where he wants to go, where he wants to be at. 4 or 5 years, 242 million. That roughly comes out to about 49 million or something like that, basically, which he can sign for. Or at minimum, if another team was to give him the max, he could sign for 4 years, 181 million for a max deal from another team. But of course, the team in which you came from has a better opportunity to sign you for a bigger contract and longer and more years. So you have that. So Bradley Beal possibly, if Washington is making the right moves, can come back to Washington and be there. Team with Porzingis, now Monte Morris, Will Barton, uh, Hachimura. Who else is still there? A couple of players in which they had Kyle Kuzma. Maybe he might be like, I stay here for more money. Or is he going? Do you think he goes back to? Is he going back to Washington, or is he going on to see what it's like with somewhere else?
But we all know Bradley Beal has already been kind of like hinting about leaving.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like he's gone. I personally feel like he's gone. Um, and I think there's a huge market for him to go. So I do. I feel like he's gone. I think he'll leave. But we'll see. But yeah, everybody feels as though, or everybody knows that that he was talking about leaving. So and wanting out. So I think that's a sure thing that he's gone.
Can you just for a second for all my armed forces peeps? Can you imagine if they had this type of stuff for for the military? Like,
But
what if your NCOER and your OCOER was the measuring point for you to hit certain incentives to get paid certain amount of money in the service? To what do you think? Look at Alvin. Do you think?
on the video right now.
do, do you think? Can you imagine what that be looking at? Do you think? I wondered, like, would it be a lot of cutthroat? You know what I'm saying, or would it be, like, I say, choose? What if you know what I'm saying you was put a team was teams are being constructed. Let's think how they construct BCTs, and they sit up and be like, okay, because now if you don't, now what they do in the military, of course, if anyone that's still active, Coach Hunter, I don't think Myers is on anything like that. Now what they do now is just more so built to where you're like right now. Fort Polk has been doing a situation to where they're trecruiting people to come to Polk, trying to get the best. to come to poke. So that's basically what is going on. So can you imagine if your OER or NCOER basically was a measuring stick for you to get a multi-year deal at saying usually okay 3 years enlistment. SFBs, yes, SFB, SSF, Special Forces as well as doing it. They've been recruiting.
Mhm.
Uh, yeah, and so the recruiting. We have a branch here on Fort Polk. I'll be seeing them. So but can you imagine that? Like what I'm saying, if your
That would
ER
be
be
crazy, bro.
3 years, like you are their standard is 3 years at an installation, but what I'm saying, then if someone looks at your SEB, you get a commander or a brigade commander, a division commander, a company commander that basically comes up like, hey man, we've been taking a look at your records and we think you would be a perfect fit here in this DFAC. We'll go ahead and offer you a 4 year contract with a sign on bonus. Um, can you imagine what that would look like?
Yeah, yeah, that would be crazy. That would, man, the military would be so much different, man. If that, I'm telling you, bro, like it would be so much different. I think it would change the whole dynamics of how the military constructed everything, how NCOs
How
would
NCOs be, what I'm saying? You
be
probably
treating
have it.
soldiers and all of
Mhm.
that. Like it would be a whole different.
And that probably built the way a soldier looks at, what I'm saying? You
Mhm.
probably wouldn't even have to, that'd be a real enlistment tool. It's like, man, it's like, wait, you can get what? It's
Right,
like, yeah, you perform, you get paid for performance.
right, and I think that would be like huge. Like when it's all said and done, like that would be major. Um, yeah, man, that's
Ha- a
that's.
big Having big threes in units.
I mean, now now in regards to Coach Hunter, excuse me, and Coach Myers, they would probably love that system. That system,
Oh yes, because that brings that
yeah,
what I'm
that
saying. Look at it it's like, hey, we need
yeah,
yeah, that definitely without a doubt. Because
yeah.
we had that conversation in which in a couple of weeks a couple of days actually we should be getting ready to start hosting some of these coaches from the MAB championship contender possibility and bringing them on and have those
Mm,
conversations that where they're right here live in effect on panel to have these discussions about, in which we had briefly a couple of times where we talked about recruiting. I mean, if people recruit or do they go out and seek people, or is there a lot of movement of players potentially to go play for another coach or just to link up with their people to build championship teams?
mm,
Which we briefly had a discussion, but of course it's going to come back up as we have these coaches on right in front of us on panel these coming week.
yeah, it's yeah, that's crazy. That would be that mad crazy for that to take place, man. Mad crazy. Harris from the 76ers on the trading market, they gave him that money to Harden. So so it's crazy you say that, right? Because me and Trey talked about something very interesting yesterday, right? I think it was yesterday or it might have been the day before. In regard, it might have been both days actually, but we spoke about these players that's opting in and opting out. And Trey just gave you a breakdown about if you opt out doesn't necessarily mean you won't play for that team. And so far it's just it's allowing money to be used to bring in other players to help your team. Now we know excuse me, we know as of yesterday that Harden had to either choose to opt in or opt out in Philadelphia. He chose to opt out. That does again remember Trey already stated that doesn't mean he's not playing for Philly. It's just allowing Philadelphia to bring in more talent into Philly to help them maybe win a championship. So Harden opted out. We know a few days before, the same day. Matter of fact, I want to say, or it was either the same day or the day after, Russell Westbrook opted in with the Lakers for 34, $35 million. He opted in the same day or the same day or day after Kyrie. Now, the thing in which we were talking about the other day, like I said, over the past 2 days, was these two individuals, of course, played with each other out there in Oklahoma and in Houston, I believe, as well. We spoke about, is it the money for you or is it the championship? So I saw some 47 million. I'm sorry, thank you, Key. 47 million for Westbrook. So so we spoke about it. Is it the money? Are you after the money or are you after the ring or and the championship? So I saw some post yesterday on social media in regards to those two individuals, how they say, well, we know who's about team and who's about the money. So my question to you, Trey, and anybody else asking, does Westbrook really care about winning a championship for the Lakers or with the Lakers? Or does he care more about the bag? And is that why they may possibly not win a championship because he's more focused on the bag instead of focusing on getting a championship?
So I are we talking about for who Harden?
No, because our Harden opted out.
Yeah, he opted out, but you remember he opted out. Presumably, he opted out, which I was the next person I was talking about. Harden did opt out, but presumably he opted out to give Philadelphia an opportunity to
Bring in more talent.
bring in more talent, and he gave them an opportunity to bring in more talent, so that way when he brings in this talent, he's able to then go back where presumably he can get he can eventually get the same money in which he's losing
Mhm.
for the most part, but they want to give an opportunity to bring in that money, so bringing that talent. So I don't know, it remains to be seen if and for Harris, like, he's probably going to be gone. I mean, if they look at
Tobias.
do yeah, do you need a PJ Tucker and Tobias Harris? You know what I'm saying, at the way in which they've been playing. So he probably is going to be gone to where he's probably going to definitely be on the trade market. He
Mhm.
might get moved as they bring in other talent and with the same money. Obviously, PJ is one of those players that wants 3 million, 30 million, 3 years, 30 million. So he wants 10 million a year. That's going to be a lot cheaper than what they pay Harris.
Mhm. But my question is, what about Westbrook? Because Westbrook opted in, so I'm comparing the
Oh,
two.
I don't, no, 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 no.
West,
Westbrook wants his money.
he's not. So
Yeah,
it's safe
from
to
what?
say
Yeah.
so it's safe to say you feel like Westbrook is not about a championship. It's about the bag.
So I'm very sure it's about he doesn't have a championship. Like, he done got
Right.
enough bags. Yeah.
Right.
So
My whole point. My
so
whole
yeah.
point.
But
Yeah.
I think, say it's just, again, it comes down to the contract. Like, it's like we were talking about. Saying, okay, contract. He got his money. He's receiving his money, and he signed the contract to get his money. So it's like, don't come to me. That's your problem, not mine. Like, what I'm saying, like, so I just feel like that's what it is. Because if not, it hasn't been reported that he was willing. He opted in. He already opted in. The money is his money in the bank at this point. So
Yeah, but why opt in if you about your ring, you're about your championships? Why opt in and not try and get the bag? I mean, try and get the championship. Like you said, you've previously got the bags prior to when you was in Houston, when you was in Oklahoma, OKC, when you out in Washington. You've gotten
Because
back.
nobody wants to take him.
Welcome to the show, Alvin. What's good, man? Appreciate you
What's
tuning
up,
in
brothers?
and joining in on
what's going
first.
on, Evan?
Man, it sounds
What's
like you
up?
out and about, not doing nothing. The army wasting their money on you because it don't look like you in uniform. So,
I, it's part of the thing. Going back,
oh,
going to South America soon. So,
okay. I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. I
but
feel you.
nobody wants to take Westbrook. That's the reason why. I'm telling you, he had to opt in. He had no choice. Who's gonna take him at this point?
So you feel like the market wasn't suitable for Westbrook, so he had no other reason but to take the opt in because
Yep.
nobody you feel like no one would want Westbrook on their team.
No, he's not consistent. He's getting to the age. Nobody's gonna take him.
What do you think? What do you say about that, Trey? How do you feel in regard?
I agree. I mean, I think so. How it's unfortunate. I think it's, again,
And he says this before you say that he can go to the Kings, but we just can't get anything in return. But
so yeah. There's nothing in the Kings. The only person of value on the Kings is Darren Fox and Sabonis, and we
Yep.
know they're not coming off neither one of those.
yeah.
Is not for Westbrook, at least. But
Mhm.
so I think it's like an unfortunate situation, in my opinion. Westbrook's play last year put him in the position to where now he looked like he's an aging player that's basically on the back end, and he's declining. And then, all actuality, I believe that was more of a situation to where he just wasn't utilized correctly. And not to mention, come on, he was on the team with LeBron, so ball dominance is one thing.
Mhm.
You're a guard that played a point guard that played out of your position for the most part, where you played in a lot of second guard, combo guard, and we know Russell is a lot better when he's full head of steam coming down and basically being able to attack the rim within unabandoned recklessness.
Mhm.
That's who Russell Westbrook is, and we didn't see that last year. We saw him pulling up for a little 18 footers, not his game necessarily.
He
Um, yeah, 24 footers, not his game at all. Like
Mhm.
he was doing all that type of stuff, and that now you see that and look at it as like, is this is what he's settling for? Because we all know as a player gets older, what do? Those players that attack the rim, like we was talking about yesterday, Blake Griffin,
Blake
like
Griffin.
we
Yep.
know those are players that attack the rim. You know what I'm saying? They're vicious in doing so. When those type players start Vince Carter, you know what I'm saying? When those type players start doing stuff, taking 18, 20 footers, then and not engaging the rim like they used to, that they're on the back. They usually they're losing. They're on the back end of their prime, and they're trying to evolve their game. And at this point, Russ is not on this in the back of his prime at 32 years old. That's not. We can't be saying that. Not yet.
Right.
He got to still. He should. We talking. That's a little 2 or 3 years too early, in my opinion. So it's basically what it is. But basically, I think the how it went last year with LA puts a bad taste in everyone's mouth, and now he's not. He doesn't seem to be a person in which anyone wants to pick up, especially for $47 million.
That part. That part. So to hit, to Alvin's statement in regards to him being not a commodity in the NBA and other teams not wanting him. I don't know, man, because we do gotta realize now. Prior to Westbrook coming to LA, he was that triple double dude. That was just a year. That was just a year prior removed. He was that triple double dude. He was. We can't ignore the fact. So we can't say that he. We can't. We can say it because we've seen it firsthand that he has definitely gone on a decline. But are we saying that he completely flipped his hand overnight, basically, from going from a triple double dude to nobody wants you now? Don't get me wrong. I understand the NBA is a dog eat dog world. If you ain't producing, don't nobody want nothing to do with you. I get it. However, I feel as though Russell, if he can find that triple double dude within him, once again, that triple double threat dude within him, he could possibly be a huge threat for some team out there. He could possibly be that.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Without a doubt.
Like Trey say, he's too young to not be that dude still.
Or even
But
a fraction of that.
All right.
the
Oh,
game,
a fraction that part.
the game is evolving. The game is all about now. It's not about in the paint. You got to see that too. But if he plays the same way he played last year, this year
Yeah,
it's
he's
gonna
done.
be bad.
Oh yeah, without question. If Russell pulls the same Russell with the Lakers like he did last year, Russell's career is pretty much done. He's pretty much done. He won't unless he can refine himself and regenerate himself to be back to the triple double threat. Yeah, if Russell comes out the same way he did last year, yeah, we won't see Russell being talked up anymore. People will be like, "Who Russell Westbrook? Who you like?"
He's coming off the bench.
Yeah, but then you say that though, you say that Alvin, but how do you bring 47 million off the bench? You can't. You can't bring 47 million off the bench, bro. You can't. These guys are done. It's a wrap. Westbrook, Lillard, Walt, really? Ooh, Coach Hunter, you saying Lillard is done too? I agree with you about maybe John Wall being done, but we're gonna see when he heads out into
John
LA.
Wall done.
Yeah, we're gonna see. It's gonna show this is his season to prove he's not coming up out there in the Clippers. But I don't think Damian's done, man. Y'all think Damian's done too? Y'all think it's a wrap for him too? Y'all think he in the same boat as Wall and Westbrook? Damian Lillard, Dame time?
The only way I can say Dame would be done is if he continues to stay in Portland without any assistance. Like they took away CJ. They took away CJ at this point. So that puts him in a sort in a way where it's like so that is the only way Dame could be done, I think, is if he doesn't have any help. Currently, like we said, we're looking at Dave Simons. They signed extended an offer to him to try to keep him there. Dirk, they have to re-sign him. He's a free agent. So they have to bring in more. So I wouldn't say Lillard yet, but I think as long as he's in Portland, it's looking dismal.
That's another team that Portland. I mean, that's another team that could possibly, if Aiton was to become available, would be a team that Aiton could go to and help Damian. Is Aiton could go to Portland and help Damian out a lot. If LeBron, what do you say? If LeBron have to do everything this season, he's done too. Ooh, ooh,
That's a good. I can take
ooh,
that. The wear and
ooh.
tear on the body. That's
LeBron is
also
waiting for his son to come to the NBA. That's what he's trying to do.
Right. Right. Which which and Trey, we didn't talk about it the other day. We talked about Sharif making the Lakers G team, or they supplemented
summer league.
summer league. But whatchamacallit made that team too?
Scottie Pippen.
Scottie Pippen's son made that team.
Well,
Yep.
we talked about it, but Scottie Pippen Jr. is a two-way player. He's different. He's on the team.
Yeah.
Sharif is just more or less auditioning for the team. Like they could of course release Scottie Pippen Jr. from it, but he has more of a direct route to the team than Sharif does because he signed a 2-year contract to where he's expected to be able to play for the actual team as well as play for the G League affiliate, the South Bay Lakers. So that's what Scottie Pippen Jr. is because they only have two-way player contracts a year.
Okay.
Sharif is on the summer team, but with Sharif on being on the summer league team, he has a first opportunity for them to offer him to be on the squad. But if they do that, then that means someone comes off the squad, and
Right. Gotta be replaced.
currently they've already activated or exercised the opt-in for Stanley Johnson as well as Gabriel. So those are two more. So those 2 more spots that presumably are being filled. So it just makes a difference. You know what I'm saying? It's different. So Sharif basically, and ultimately Sharif could just be playing auditioning. At this point, the summer league is just basically an audition to
Right.
where people like, okay, the Lakers might not like him, but Portland might want him, or
Right.
not Portland. Portland or anyone else might want him. So
Yeah. Bronny national ranking dropped from 28 to 64. He is not being drafted.
I don't see that national rank.
but yeah, that's different. So yeah, that's as a senior. Like you gotta think Bronny has to play a senior year, so he can. But
He
I
can
thought it was
back up.
he
Yeah.
went from 20. Yeah, he went. I actually thought it was 29 to 60. But he can move back up. But I mean, that's a huge drop when you look
It
at you were a
is.
junior
Major
and
drop.
you rescinded from as a junior going into a senior. You dropped from 29 to 60. If in for your last year, that's not a good
That's
look
bad.
initially. But
That's bad. Yeah, that's real bad.
I mean, and then I think this is more put on this because it's LeBron's son, and you expect differently from LeBron's son. No different if it was Kobe's, if Kobe had a son, or even if it was one of his daughters went ahead and played, and they would. That's the same. You expect differently from our great offspring for the most part. So it's saying that's minor. It wasn't. It it's conversation, but as we know, people get drafted. We got plenty of people who aren't drafted that go on to be good players for the most part.
I think the teams are hoping that these kids have half of the talent their parents do. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Just like you're saying, O'Neal, Pippen,
Mm-hmm.
Bronny, they're just hoping they have the half of the talent their parents have.
Yeah, exactly. And that's probably, and then I would be interested in, I foresee probably maybe a situation to where Bronny plays out his last year as a senior, and as opposed to going to, well, I'm very sure that his parents would probably want him to go to a school to get a degree, but he might go the route, or he might decide, to go the route of go and play for G League, G League Ignite, or
Yeah, that was the talk already
yeah,
yesterday. That
that he
the
goes to
talk
G League
with
Ignite.
him, Ignite. Yeah,
Yeah, go play there for a year and then get into the league the year after that. So that he'll be in the league by 2024, 2025, something like that. So if he does that, or unless his mom might be like, nah, I want you in college, he might go to college. So it remains to be seen. But yeah, like Coach say, Bronny signed. Well, yeah, G League team. There's no GM willing to sacrifice their job to sign him. why won't LeBron leave the NBA till his son get drafted? I think it's just a situation to where he wants. It's like a milestone maybe for him, Anthony, to be exact. I think that's more so what it would be. Of course, additionally, also you have other options, lesser known talent. Bishop's not on there. I know I won't try to say this one for him, but you did have Bobby Portis opted out of his contract, uh, to leaving 4.6 million on the table. Oh, there we go. Leaving 4.6 million on the table, with the potential of getting a max deal of 4 years of $49 million potentially if it was to sign back with Milwaukee or any other else. Additionally, also, Patty Mills opts out of his Brooklyn contract, which would have been 6.2 million. Now he's open, although he is open to going back to Brooklyn. He he's opted out and is testing free agency.
I love
Um,
him. Bye, Patty.
you don't think he comes back?
We don't care if he does. We don't want him back. We don't need him.
Now, they might want him back. He said he think there's a way for him to get back, or that it's mutual to possibly bring him back. He's just doing it to get more money. 6.2 million is what he left.
Do we? Yeah. Do we deserve more money? Do Patty Mills really deserve more money? No, he don't. If you have to hesitate, and no, he does not. Patty Mills does not deserve more money.
I agree with that one.
He does not. He hasn't done enough to get more money, man. In my opinion.
So something that came up, and I was sort of thinking about it. Do you think, or of course you, Alvin, or anyone else out there, do you all think that Golden State is going to their ownership is going to pull the checkbook back out and pay the luxury taxes to keep the current team together, or do you think they go ahead and like, you know what, we're gonna have to ride with what we got, and if they don't want to be here, we gotta have them here, and start relying on their the people that they have in place now? Because you have to understand, they still got their three rookies they drafted. Correction, they're not rookies now, but the three young talent they drafted year before last, they still have in Alvin Kaminga, uh, um, Moody, and Wiseman.
Yep.
While they're tracing after Looney, uh, Gary Payton II, and Otto Porter. So, in which if they do that, they can reach ultimately like a $500 million payroll at the end of it, because they have to pay those luxury taxes. So, what do you they just paid the luxury tax last year, which was I think 250 for $300 million. They're looking at 450 to 500 million to keep to that they would be reaching if they pay if they have to pay, because right now they're pretty close already and they haven't even signed on the other guys. So do you think they would do it? And if you were the GMs, what would y'all be looking at? Are y'all going to let them go, walk away to help
I'll pay the heavy tax.
Woo.
Mm. Mm.
You know what? When Alvin said that, that put me in the mind of I'm not paying that tax, because it's like you're paying to keep the team together that you just won a championship with. But what if you don't win a championship? I done paid all this money for y'all to lose. Like, I'm paying to win at this point.
So
But is the team willing?
I'm not. I don't think I'm willing to pay that to run with the same team. Like I said earlier, the teams are getting better. Like, yeah, I'm not paying that. We got to run it. I want to implore the GM. You got to make it work with what you got. We don't. I know you want to keep GP the second. I know you want to keep Looney. But why do we have Wiseman? Why do we have Moody? Why do we like? Nah, I don't think I'm paying that money. You got to make it work. Because if I pay all that money just to sit up and not win, like at that point, you're literally paying for a championship.
Keep Wiggins, let Poole, and pay him walk.
That's a hard pill to swallow.
That is.
Yeah, Wiggins is already under contract, so he's not even a conversation. But like Otto Porter Jr. is not under contract. What's his name? Kevin Looney is not under contract. Gary Payton II is not under contract.
And Poole is a free agent too, isn't he?
I don't know. He might be a restricted. I'm
Yeah.
not sure, but in any case, or if he, I think he might be good.
Yeah.
So those other three aren't though. But yeah,
Mhm.
like I just said, you still have Wiseman, Kaminga, and Moody that are under on rookie contracts still
Mm.
I
that you can
think
pick
I,
up.
That's a good question, man. I ain't gonna
I'm
front. Go
not
ahead.
paying. I don't think I'm paying the money. I think it's too much of a risk at that point. I don't think they're going to run it back. Not with the same team, at least.
I think they're gonna give him a short contract. To tell you the truth,
Mm.
just to see in the next 2 years.
Mm. So basically, straddle the fence. In other
Yeah,
words, yeah, that
you're
way.
gonna play year by year. That's what they're gonna do. They need the GM from us, the Eagles. You know what I'm saying? They need to reconstruct some goddamn contracts. That's what it is.
Yeah.
But
And
I think
what
they're
you
gonna give
think
him a short contract.
reconstructing contracts would be major. Would be major. That would free up some space and be able to give them some wiggle room to do what they may need to do to try and keep the team to see if they can run it back. But that is a real good question though, Trey. Yeah, that luxury tax ain't no punk. Um, yeah, I don't know. That's why they make them. That's why they make
And
them.
then you got to pay more if you stay. The longer you stay in the luxury tax every year, you got to pay more.
Right.
And so this is their second year in the luxury tax. Like, okay, but like I said, if it's buying championships, I guess it's worth it.
Yeah, yeah,
But winning championship raises your money too. You got to think about it too, right?
right. That too. That too. That too. I totally. Yeah, you're right about that part. But when you win championships, in the payout like 3 times more by winning the championship three
I mean,
times.
I
I
guess it
mean,
brings it.
yeah, I
It
mean,
makes you more
right,
formidable. Like people want to come to be like, okay, especially if you win. The more you win, of course, that makes it like dynasties. Like you said, like the Lakers, like they have a pedigree for championships for the most part here and there for the most part. So that makes people like, yeah, I want to go to LA. You know what I'm saying? They have that. So that's what Golden State seemingly is turning into. But I think I'm honestly looking to see when Steph isn't there any longer to see where Golden State is at that point.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
So obviously, of course, you know, saying getting ready to move into NFL. So first, I would like to say this: what we're not going to do is trying to keep me trying to box me in because I got two Philadelphia Eagles fans that's on this panel. So
Whatever.
what we're not going to do is have me all boxed in, you know what I'm saying, with the nonsense. So the nonsense Bishop that got reinforcements on here because the first thing I don't even really have anything for NFL, but I did see the blasphemy with Miles Sanders coming on, talking about he feels like he is playing for an all-star team.
Let's
Where the
go.
hell do we get
Go,
that from?
Go. Why is that not
go.
true, bro?
What?
I said that before he said it.
Stop it.
Bro, look at our squad, bro.
Yes,
Really?
exactly.
Look at our squad. Think about our squad, bro. Think about
Didn't
who we
didn't we
got,
just
bro.
look at y'all schedule the other day?
And we looked at our schedule and you said that to say what, bro? Look at our squad. We're talking about he's saying an all-star team. Let me throw this up there for you, Alvin and Trey. This is what was up. According to Pro Football Focus, the top 10
I
rosters
read
for
the
the
same one.
2022 season is the Bulls, the Bucks, the Chargers, the Rams, the Packers, the Browns, my beloved Eagles, the Bengals, the Chiefs, and the Dolphins. By Pro Book Football Focus, this is the top 10 rosters. How, like, proof is in the pudding. They're telling you the Eagles in the top 10 out of 32 teams.
So
They have the best
let's
roster in the
as
league.
that as those teams scroll on the bottom of the screen, let's keep this in mind, right? Okay, first one up, Buffalo Bills. I don't know.
What?
Bucks, maybe. The Charger, okay. The Rams, yes. Who the hell on the Green Bay Packers roster is it that you're seeing as top tier? Can you name who their starting wide receivers will be? I'll wait.
I'm not a Packers fan.
Exactly. But we don't say we report this type of stuff, and we can't even simply say who their top receivers are. I don't even know who their top receivers are. Tony Young Runyon,
Oh,
I mean Tanya,
Scantling,
they're right.
Scantling. Ain't it Scantlin? Scantlin is the one.
Scantlin, yeah, he's one of them.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you know what I'm saying. So or is he one of? Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Scantlin. So he's one that's like at this point, like I don't even know. So how is their roster even? What are they standing on the back of Aaron Rodgers? Is he holding them down at 5?
He's carrying that team. He's
The
playing offense and
Browns,
defense.
I understand. I'm still trying to figure
Bengals,
out how the Eagles got there. The
what? How
Chiefs,
do
the
you keep
Dolphins.
saying
So
What
the
you
some
Eagles?
mean?
how
Oh,
did
and
they
they
get
still,
there?
and they still got Randall Cobb too. Matter of fact, the Packers still got Randall.
Why do you keep on bringing up Randall Cobb in conversations about wide receivers in Green Bay?
Because he is. Come on, you're not going to sit here and
Stop
act.
it.
Come on.
Randall Cobb is done. He is Damian Lillard.
And they got Sammy Watkins.
Yeah, they got Sammy. They got
They got
speed.
Sammy. They got Sammy Watkins.
So you telling me that you wouldn't mind having Sam Watkins on your squad?
I wouldn't.
I
sure
wouldn't.
I sure
Hey,
wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
I sure wouldn't. I would not.
As I've stated.
Oh, and they got Lazard. Hold on, they got Alan Lazard too. Stop it, bro.
I'll-
Hold on. The Packers got
I'll
us.
take Watkins before I take Rager. At this
Oh, I
point,
can understand that.
All
I can
day,
understand
all
that.
day,
I can understand
all
that.
day,
I can understand that.
all day,
I can understand
all day, and twice on Sunday, all day.
As I stated, I think y'all are going to be the third best in y'all division.
You've got to
third.
be. And
He said third.
Yeah, who's second? You better not say the Giants. You better not say the Giants.
You better not say Dallas or Giants. I swear to God.
I told you Washington, I think, is going to be close second.
Commanders?
Yes.
The Commanders.
With our backup QB. With our backup QB. That's who
The one that we let go.
Yeah, our backup QB. That's who you putting up in there. Really?
All his life, he had to fight.
Oh my God, this dude here, bro. This dude here, man. Are you serious, man? Stop it.
So,
Trey.
question for y'all too: what do y'all think is gonna happen with the Browns QB issue?
That's we should hear something here today. Today is a big day. Today
yes.
Today is
and Baker Mayfield has the upper hand right now.
Who said I don't believe in Hurts, Anthony? I never said I didn't believe in Jalen Hurts.
It's written all over your face. You ain't got to say a word.
I did not say that. I did not say I did not believe in.
You say fly, Eagles fly, but
yeah, I am saying that. That bro, really? Like I never said that. Jalen Hurts is not. As a matter of fact, they just talked about it. If Jalen Hurts has a great season, and the Green Bay Packers has Mercedes Lewis as tight end, bro. Don't sleep on the pack, bro. Don't sleep on the pack. And with Aaron Rodgers, don't sleep on the pack. But they were just talking about yesterday. Some of the analysts and some of the they was just talking about. If Jalen Hurts has a real good season, he could set the market again next year for quarterbacks.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Where you and this? So,
oh my God, this dude!
I can't believe I'm
this dude is such a hater.
You and this. I swear you have such a narrative for Eagle, and then this is perfect. This is perfectly lined up for you because it's an Eagle and a Boomer Sooner all in the same. So you and these narratives for Hurts and Murray, I'm sure there's a narrative coming at some point for Baker. Stop it,
Alvin. Check this out. Tell me, okay, Trey, watch this, Alvin. Tell me why you feel like the Philadelphia Eagles is not an all-star team.
It's not an all-star team?
Why? They are not. Mm-hmm.
What makes them all? They got A.J. Brown.
Okay.
Devontae Smith, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Devontae Smith.
Dallas Goedert.
Okay.
Goddard.
Okay.
We got
Miles Sanders.
What? Why does Miles Sanders continue to be a cop? Miles Sanders, isn't he a second-year player that didn't have a great year last year?
Oh my God.
He had injuries too. Come on, man. You can't.
Come on, this dude here, man.
Come on,
this dude here. I tell you, Alvin.
Okay, Miles Sanders. Who else y'all got? Who else y'all running back room? Miles Sanders
and what's old boy Sanders and what's
no.
Exactly.
Hold on, I'm gonna tell you. I can't think of his name right now. That's all because I'm looking at something else.
But I would say this: if we don't go that far this year, it's gonna be all blame on you and on Hurts.
I mean, without question. I mean, we all know that's without being said. We know they're gonna blame it on Hurts.
If
We know
you
that.
can't do nothing with this offensive power,
Yeah,
I,
which is
I,
true. Yeah, without question. I mean, you're absolutely right. If you cannot do nothing with this team, you don't deserve to be the head of the team. You don't,
no,
because there's too much talent on this team. We personally
You know what, Bishop?
we look like the Jets with all the talents they had back in the year. That's
Tua is gonna outperform Hurts this
oh
year.
hell, I know you lying now. Oh,
oh
I
my
know you
god, this
lying.
dude is
Tua
I
is
know
going
you
to
lying.
outperform Hurts this year.
oh my god, this dude, man, I'm about
I know you lying. He might outperform in interceptions, and that's about it.
that part, bro. That part, bro. This dude here is tripping. This dude is majorly tripping, bro.
Now that's
What?
another team to watch out, though. He does got his offensive players now as well. So
Bro, don't join that bandwagon. I truly feel like everybody's giving Tua this praise, and Tua to me hasn't proved anything.
no, I'm not saying I'm giving all his praise. He's in the same boat as Hurts. If you can't do nothing with this team,
Oh, right. I totally agree with that. Yeah. I totally agree with that without question.
I
Yeah.
think he outperforms Hurts this year.
In what
go
century?
ahead. You pick her Tua as your primary QB for fantasy football. Let's see where
He
you
ain't
land.
gonna do that. He
I'm
will
not
not.
going to do that, but
Yeah,
I'm
of
just
course
saying.
he's not. Of course he's not. He's not
But
gonna do that.
well, I'm not. But I'm not honestly. In all, actually, I don't think I'm against drafting Tua. Maybe later on down the line, if it's left with Hurts or Tua, I might take Tua.
You would show
I'm taking Tua.
that would be your fault. That would be your fault. Boston Scott. That's the name. Boston Scott. That's our other running back.
Stop it. Yeah, that's and then on y'all defense might be a little above average.
A little above average. Oh my
Yeah,
god!
that
Did you
defense might be a
did you
little
hear
above
who we
average.
just picked up in the draft for the defense? Did you
No,
hear
who
we
y'all pick
picked up
up?
the two Georgia
From Georgia, and the one
Davis, the defensive tackle, and the linebacker? Are you freaking kidding me right now? You're
that
joking,
linebacker still.
right? You're joking right now. And we picked up that corner. You're
Yep.
you're really you're tripping right now, bro. You're really tripping right now,
We got two of the Georgia's starting defensive players.
bro. That part, and you, this dude here, man.
That's what I say. Y'all defense should be a bit above average. But y'all offense, like I don't like it. Like I said, it remains to be seen. I'm not going to completely just. I just don't personally think that y'all are playing like he said. It's like playing on an all-star team.
Man, I don't know what you see, bro.
No one who did anyone did y'all have any players on the Pro Bowl last year?
Yeah,
Yeah, we had three. I think it's 3 or 4.
yeah, we sure did. We sure did.
They were regular Pro Bowl. They wasn't add-ins or something like that. They
Oh,
were
here
Pro
we
Bowl.
go. Now we got it.
No, I'm just asking. I'm just asking. I'm not trying
Oh,
to.
Like
and
we
we
have
got,
a sub. It's like,
yeah, and we got Kenneth Gainwell as the other running back. I forgot, bro. Would you wait? I cannot, man. Good lord, can we? Oh man, can we sleep to August, September? I just need to sleep to about that part, man. Just to,
Don't rush in too swiftly now,
now, why not?
because you might, like you said, put your put your hand out there and pull back a nub.
Oh, okay, that's what you believe. I'm telling you, I totally agree with what Miles Sanders said, bro. Totally agree. We that all-star team, baby, and we finna prove it. It's about to come out, man. It's about to come out, man. I don't know why you
how
sleep.
about Wilson being in the Denver Broncos jersey?
Yeah. Who?
Russell Wilson.
Oh yeah, that's
That's weird.
Hey, I'm fine with it.
yeah. Of course you are, because you. Yeah, we know you are. We of course we know you're fine with it. Of course. Yeah, we know you're absolutely great. Fine with it, Miles. Man, this dude here, man. Wait until the time comes, bro. Y'all sleeping on this dude, man.
Oh, who?
Miles Sanders.
How many yards? What was my? What? How much? How many yards did Miles Sanders gain last year?
754.
In how many games?
With injuries, by the way.
Yeah, that's why I asked how many games.
How many games did he play?
I think he played 7 or 8. I know he missed a lot.
Yeah, he missed quite a few games. That's why Scott came in and played so much.
He would have broke 1,000.
Yeah, he definitely would have broke 1,000. He had 754 and only played probably half the season. Let me see how many games.
So don't play us, man. Come on.
Yeah, man. How many games did he play? Miles Sanders is, man. Oh, man. Let me see, man. This dude here, bro. Good Lord, bro. 2021.
Where you guys think OBJ is going? He's still out there.
Odell? I don't know, man. That's a good question. I don't know where he.
And right now, there's still no speak with the Rams about re-signing him.
They're probably not going to resign him. He had to go out there and be able to show. They're probably going to wait, or team's probably going to wait till he gets up and does a couple of workouts to see where he's at. I know, flip mode. These Philly fans, man, they in the right division. Them damn Philly fans, Cowboy fans.
Man, stop it, bro. Y'all stop it, man. Why is y'all? Oh my God, man. Y'all are something else. You know what I'm saying? Who's flip mode? Oh, them stanky cow, man. Don't you talk? Flip mode don't even say nothing about Eagle fans because y'all Cowboy fans are the worst. The worst.
So, as you look at what you're looking for, Bishop, my question, like, of course, Keyshawn had a conversation to where he brought up and stated that he made a list of who he figured was the most scariest quarterbacks in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
His list goes as such: number 5, Kyler Murray.
Yep, that's what I'm coming.
Number 4, Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, Josh Allen. Number 2,
Lamar Jackson.
Patrick Mahomes. Number 1, Lamar Jackson.
I like it.
Do you agree with this list? Was there any, would you move it around? Would you what would you do?
I like it. I like that list. I think it's very fair. I think it's real fair. I like that list a lot.
Who was his number 1?
Lamar
Jackson?
Yeah.
I think I would switch Lamar.
I would put Lamar number 2.
I would put Josh at number 2. I put Josh as number 2.
Now, as the scariest now, mind you, we talking about the scariest. Y'all put Josh.
Put Lamar at number 2.
And who you got at number 1, Alvin?
Patrick.
No.
I'll push Patrick down to number 3.
No.
And push Josh up.
I could agree with that. I could put Josh at 2 and Patrick at 3. Who's 4?
Aaron.
Ooh. And 5th is
Kyler.
So I probably would even move Aaron up, but we don't know what Aaron has yet.
No, I can't move Aaron up, bro.
Yeah. Because we don't know what Aaron has yet. When he had Devontae, then we might have a different. But I think he definitely needs to be on this list.
Whose list is this?
Keyshawn Johnson's.
Even though we haven't watched him play, I'm surprised Deshaun ain't on there.
Nah, that's the scariest.
Yeah. When that boy's playing, yeah. Oh, yeah. Without question, bro. Yeah. You're not gonna say like y'all just like he's not getting paid that money for nothing. I mean, swap Murray with Jackson. Ooh.
That's disrespectful there, Marcus.
Swap Murray with Jackson.
Did he re-sign his contract yet?
No.
Nah.
So I wouldn't put Murray.
He playing on it.
Gotta be on the team first.
Oh man! Wow.
Well, he's on the team. He just has he's looking for the extension.
Yeah, he's just trying to get more money. Wow, Marcus, I can't agree with that one. I can't switch Murray's a threat. He is a threat, and he's definitely in the top 5. But I'm not switching him out with Lamar, bro.
Yeah, he's not taking. I don't think Murray's taking one.
No,
So
no.
additionally, even with the so I think some of the reasons why we can when you look at this actually now I think about it when you look at him being scary when we talk about Aaron for one I think is based on what we've seen him do because like you said he has a whole new wide receiver room and we have to see how that goes. But if you look at over the last 2 years with
Mhm.
with quarterbacks with at least 200 attempts, um, the ratios, especially in division games, are such. Justin Herbert, the ratio 28 touchdowns to 7 interceptions. Dak Prescott, 17 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. Kirk Cousins, 24 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. Josh Allen, 25 interceptions to 4 interceptions.
25 touchdowns.
20, yeah, correction. Yeah, I'm sorry. 25 touchdowns. I'm sorry, I had a Jameis Winston moment. Josh Allen, 25 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. Aaron Rodgers, 38 touchdowns, no interceptions.
Ooh.
0 interception.
0 interceptions.
Ooh. Ooh.
But again, like I said, that was with different receivers. He had
Ugh.
Javante.
That's
He
still a
had
lot. That ratio. 38.
yeah, that ratio. Yeah, 38-0, 38-0. Yeah,
That's a
that's a
huge ratio, bro. That's phenomenal.
in division games too. That's against the people that you need to beat.
Yeah, that's phenomenal, bro. Like,
Yeah.
good lord. Golly, 38 to 0. Ooh, bro. That's hard. Not that's
I mean, but who's Green Bay's division is? Who's their division? I think you gotta look at the divisions when you look at that. Like Justin Herbert, he plays in the AFC West, which
Yeah.
means he's playing against Las Vegas, Denver, and Kansas City.
Kansas
Dak
City.
Dak is playing against uh, the Philadelphia Eagles, Green Bay, New York Giants, and the Washington Commanders. Kirk
Command.
Cousins is playing against. He's in
yeah,
the
you got a point. They're in the NFC North, bro. That's Minnesota, Detroit, and Chicago.
Yeah.
And then it's the same, and then that's the same thing for Kirk Cousins, who is pretty high as well with his 24-5.
Yeah,
Uh,
we know
and then
Justin
lastly,
Fields,
Josh Allen.
and Josh. Yeah. So
But
yeah,
38, like you said, in any case, 38-0 is whew.
they still professionals, regardless of the fact. Well, no matter
That
what.
means that means in the last three in the last 2 years, he hasn't thrown an interception in any divisional game. That's what 12 divisional games. He's averaging 38 touchdowns and no interceptions.
Good lord, yeah, that's warranted.
Hence the reason why they keep winning. Hence the reason why they keep winning their conference.
That's
No, their division.
yeah,
Running away with their division.
that's warranted. That's very warranted, bro. Yeah, wow, that part. Yeah, that's very warranted, bro. You can't. I mean, 38-0. That's. But again, like you said, in the NFC North, we talking Minnesota, we talking Chicago, and we talking Detroit. Chicago rebuilding. Detroit is Detroit, and Minnesota they're pretty decent.
I'm not impressed.
What?
No, he stopped
What?
playing. Oh my goodness, let me stop playing.
He said he's not impressed. What, bro? You gotta give him his props when props is due for that one. 38-0. That's a serious ratio, bro. Golly, I wouldn't even have thought that. I know Aaron Rodgers is a bad man, but man. Oh, look, what are they talking about? Which team has the best roster in the NFL? Who they saying? Who
It's probably some nonsense, but
who they saying has the best?
the best rosters in the NFL.
Which team has best roster?
So again, like I said, it's all going to be subjective. At this point, we're at any point during the off season and stuff like that, we're talking about on paper
Mhm.
teams for the most part. Uh, the assessment, as y'all stated, right now on paper, you figure y'all going to be the first or second team in the division. Um, I'm very sure every team, or to some degree, believes they're going to be the number one team in their division at the beginning of the season. Until gameplay starts happening, you start to get the separations. Um, uh, so you know, what I'm saying I can understand. Um, understand that.
Oh wow, they say the Bills, the Chargers, the Bucks, and he said one other. I forgot what the other one is.
So currently,
Wow.
a
All
couple of players, I have here that are on their prove it year, I guess you can say. So I'm gonna give you the rundown on the players, and I like to, of course, I'm very sure you won't agree with them, but I like to you tell me who you think of all of these seven players is the quarterback that is the quarterback that is unequivocally the player that has to prove it the most on this year. First quarterback name we have is Tua Tagovailoa, Miami Dolphins.
the most.
Dan- Daniel Jones, New York Giants. Kyler Murray, Arizona Cardinals. Jalen Hurts, Philadelphia Eagles. Uh, Davis Mills, Houston Texans. Drew Lock, Seattle Seahawks. And lastly, Sam Darnold of the Carolina Panthers. Who do you think of that group is has the most proof to be able to keep their job
The
or
one,
be solidified?
the one you
Shit,
know.
all of them.
That's true too. I ain't gonna lie. To keep all of to keep their job, all of them. But yeah. But if
But
I
you say Tua.
but if Tua,
You think Tua?
yeah, he got
Based on what he has now?
yeah, just like Alvin said, man, with the
The
teams he has right now, him, Jalen, they have
Yeah, I was about to
Yep,
say Jalen
them
is a
two.
close second.
yeah,
Is a
they got
close second.
yeah,
Almost like they're
Tied.
tied. Like both
They're
of them.
tied
Yeah.
at the first.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Him and Jalen has the most to prove because
But
they
I don't think Jalen. I think, but so in Jalen's case, I think he only gets relegated to like a second string if he can't. Well, who's your backup?
I don't even know who our backup is to be honest with you.
Yeah,
Hold on, I'm finna tell you right now.
we
Um,
just damn. Was it?
let me see. It's because I really it was we had whatchamacallit, and then I think we got rid of him. What was the kid that came in?
It was a funny name. I just
Yeah.
stopped.
I know y'all have another dude that's
He
there, but
traded
I don't
away.
think he's a
He traded
backup.
away. The one we did have. Come on, man.
But yeah, Tua and Jalen has the most to prove at this point. Just due to the fact that they have no excuse because now they have the offensive power. You can't say, "Oh, I'm underperforming because I don't have the personnel in the wide receiver core and the offensive."
Yeah. What is that dude's name, man? It's taking forever to load up.
For Kyler, I think it's just the fact of doing the same thing last year.
Oh,
Like,
Kyler
y'all got Gardner Minshew.
Minshew. That's him. Garner Minshew. That's him. Garner Minshew. That's exactly what it is.
So y'all got Reed Sinnett and also Carson Strong, who was pretty good from out in Nevada.
yep,
Okay.
Damn Romo. Nobody want Romo. That was y'all problem. Yeah, Garner Minshew. That's him. I couldn't think of his name.
it was a funny name.
Yeah, Garner Minshew. That's him. But Kyler Murray is another one though. He's right there at number 3, without question.
So I
Because
gotta say, Anthony Price, not to cut you off, Bishop.
yeah,
Davis Mills is definitely, I think, is one as well. Because if Davis Mills doesn't perform, like out of these people, like Davis Mills wouldn't be the likely candidate. Like we wouldn't even think that we would have a conversation about Davis Mills in Houston.
Mm.
So I think if he has a bad game, then or a bad season, then it's like, oh well, see, you aren't anything remotely to what we thought. We definitely got to go find somebody else. Enter
Mm.
Jimmy Garoppolo
mhm.
or uh, maybe Baker Mayfield or something like that. So, but you were saying who you were saying, Bishop?
No, I was about to say the same thing in regards to Kyler Murray, because Kyler Murray is pretty much in the same position
The first two.
as the first two, right? He
Yeah.
got talent. He's surrounded by talent. So therefore, and especially being that you're trying to get a bigger contract, you really got to show and prove to get a bigger contract. So he definitely is one that definitely needs to come out and play great ball and stay healthy.
Like you said, that's a double-edged sword. Like you've been standing on the desk,
Yeah,
talking all that stuff. Like you deserve the money.
right.
You had 1 year in which you took the team to the playoffs, and you were like, now you definitely on the show and prove it. I think the person who has the least amount is Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because it's like at this point, I think Daniel Jones is good enough to go somewhere else and get another opportunity. But you know what I'm saying? But it's like, you know what I'm saying? I've been in New York all this time, and I haven't been. I went 2 years without the top running back, who was injured. My receiving core is always depleted, and it's by injuries. Like he hasn't had anything to really play with. So for him, if it falters and it doesn't come across, I think he's definitely going to get another chance easily. Drew Lock might not even play this year. Well, we know he's going to play this year.
Yeah, Drew Lock.
If Drew Lock don't start, I don't know. And then Sam Darnold.
That's another spot.
Yeah, Sam I am. Yeah, he out in Carolina, right?
Yeah, he got traded.
Yeah, so Sam, yeah, so yeah, him and McCaffrey out there, and yeah, Sam.
But I think it's a better spot for Sam though.
Out there in Carolina.
Yeah.
Well, if he performs, because he has Ritter that's on his heels now.
Right.
Not Ritter. Is it Ritter? Is that who they drafted? No, he's not. Ritter got drafted to Atlanta.
Yeah, Ritter went to
who's he's on the tip of my tongue. Carolina's got they picked
he got that top. Yeah, they got the dude from what's old boy from it's right there on tip of my tongue too. I know exactly what you're talking about. Matt Corral out of Mississippi.
Yeah, Matt Corral, yeah. That's who's on his heels. Well, that's who he's looking at testing him.
Yeah.
And then of course PJ Walker.
Yeah, they got Matt Corral in the second round.
So it remains to be seen in which I mean it can work, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, still at some point you're going to start to have, like we talked about yesterday, I think you start to have players once the season starts and you start to see what you got, then we're going to start to see where probably people will be like, you know what, let's kick the tires on the Cam Newtons and the let's go ahead and look at trading for Garoppolo or Baker if it hasn't been traded for at that point, or start looking and poaching the other people's teams. Somehow, some way, Johnson always ends up on someone's squad as a backup. I don't know. It remains to be seen.
Isn't Garoppolo on the end of his contract?
Oh yeah, Garoppolo.
Well, that's why I said they could have to trade for him, but he's owed $26 million, so and he's probably gonna be a backup. Currently in San Francisco, he'll be a backup because they say Trey Lance is looking pretty good.
So you think they're gonna start Trey Lance this year, right off the rip?
Yeah, he's gonna start him.
And well, there go that winning season.
We having a winning season with him or without him, guy. We already went over it. 11-6.
Y'all was not going 11-6, bro.
Maybe 6-11.
All my life. You know what? We went through our dismal and dark times. Now we have reemerged.
No, it's in front of you. It's in front of you right now.
Yeah,
you really think
no one expected us to be in the Eastern or Western Conference Championship last year.
Name the last so-called rookie quarterback come in the league and
he's not a rookie.
I said somewhat. That's why I got air quotes because he really didn't. What he played in maybe 2 games last year, maybe.
But he played last year. Well, even if he hadn't played, he was a rookie last year.
Name a second year
player.
who's taking their team to 11-6 record?
Joe Burrow.
They wasn't. Were they 11-6 last year? They wasn't 11-6, were they?
They went far
They
last year.
made. They went. Well, they went in the super. They went to the Super Bowl, no doubt.
Yeah,
But
that's what I'm saying.
that wasn't Joe's. That was Joe's third year, wasn't it?
Yeah,
No,
he
it's
was injured the second year.
Yeah, that was his.
Well,
third.
what was it? Wait, was it?
second year.
Was it?
Because remember, his first year he got injured.
He got. Yeah, he right. 20. He came out in 20.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he came out in 20. He did. And what was their record? Bengals record for 2021. They did make it to the Bengals.
Yep, and his second year.
Yeah, it was his second year. And they were what? What was they overall?
Then they were 11-6.
They did go 11-6?
Think so.
Oh wow. Wow.
You know he's getting paid.
Yeah. Oh, they was 10-7.
10-7. Close enough. Shit.
Yeah, that's close enough. Yeah, that was 27. Yeah, that was 27. Okay. 10-7.
And second year after an injury, go to the Super Bowl. Come on, man.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, I definitely can't.
I was about to say, let's be honest. But I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna do that. Okay.
We'll stay with that.
We'll stay with that.
What are we being honest with, bro? What are we being honest with, bro?
Like, the only reason Joe Burrow probably got in is because of the debacle in that happened in the Kansas City in Buffalo game. But in any case, he got in.
He did. Facts.
Hey, sometimes luck counts.
Yeah, it plays a huge factor sometimes. It does. It plays a huge factor.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, he was a second year player.
Yeah. I said that. He was 2020 is when he came into this league.
But I don't think Trey Lance is at that caliber, to tell you the truth.
Nah, I don't either. I totally don't. I really don't feel like Trey Lance is that dude.
He might. He'll go over 500. I'll tell you that if he starts the whole season.
Yeah.
But not no 11-6.
Yeah. Nah, I don't see him doing that. Even with Debo. I know that's why Trey's saying all that, because they got Debo and all of that good stuff.
Did Debo sign his contract too?
No. Debo ain't did nothing yet either.
That's a lot of questionable in the 49ers.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Debo has not done anything yet.
Shoot, DK Metcalf comes off his contract next year, right?
Right. Yep. This is DK's last contract with the
we need to open up some cap space.
Man, you know we ain't gonna be able to before DK, AJ, and
Smith,
Devontae. Man, we ain't gonna be able to get all
on his last contract next year.
Right, and we'd be crazy not to resign and restructure or give him the money, because he's gonna be something.
Yeah, so
he's gonna be something. He's definitely gonna be something, man, without question.
Jalen Hurts last year.
Yeah, this is this
is gonna be his prove year too.
Yeah, he has to prove this year. He has to come in and show out this year, because if not,
he's not getting paid.
Yeah, he's not going. Yeah, it's gonna be ball out of bust this season. It's ball out of bust for him.
Dang. And then you got, dang.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's ball out of bust this season.
Yeah, that's a lot of pressure though for a young.
A lot, and hopefully he can accept the challenge and make it happen. But yeah, it is a lot of pressure for him.
Yeah,
a lot, because he has to prove. Tua, yeah, Kyler, all of them got pressure, because it's a lot going on for them coming up, bro. A lot. True, a lot.
We'll see what Seattle does too, because now you got Drew Luck is in the start.
Right. Unless they end up getting, because it was talks about Baker heading that way. So either it's
well, there was a talk until found out Deshaun Watson might be suspended all next year.
Right. But then they asked Baker yesterday or over this weekend when he was at a camp in Oklahoma, because of the things going on with Deshaun Watson, would he reconsider coming back and playing for Cleveland? And he was like, basically in layman's term, he's like, nah, that bridge is burnt. He's like, he has no desire to come back and play for Cleveland whatsoever.
When did you read that? Because I read yesterday that he was talking to the Browns about going back.
Oh, really? Was that yesterday, the day before? Because that was over the weekend that Baker was talking about that. That was over the weekend.
I
So,
think if Baker does go play for the Browns, I think they will pay. They're gonna pay, and it's gonna be a hefty payment.
but see, this is the whole thing which we spoke about yesterday. It all depends on how long they suspend Deshaun for. You know, they're looking at doing a year, and now I heard late last night, that it's looking to be around 6 to 8 games that Deshaun is looking to be suspended for. So I know they were wanting a whole year, but now they're saying it may be more like 6 to 8 games. So
Well,
that's going to be another that part right there, because we do know they still have
you got more.
right. They got what's his name? What's the quarterback? The black kid. I can't.
Damn.
Oh, it's right there on the tip. I can't think of his name right now, but they've got him as a backup. Right. Oh man, I can't say his name. So yeah, I think depending on which, like I said, today is a big day because we should hear the outcome of Deshaun on whether or not he's getting, or what his suspension is going to be. So today's a huge day, and that's going to determine what Baker's future is going to be like.
Ooh. Also, nobody really brings it up. The Steelers.
Yeah, well, what about them? They got it. We don't know. That's the thing. We talked about the Steelers record yesterday because Trey mentioned about Mike Tomlin having a winning record throughout his whole 15 years in Pittsburgh. Will it stand this upcoming season without Ben? Ben has retired. And we looked at their roster, and they could go 9-8, or 8-9 by looking
Who's
at
their two QBs up there right now?
It's still old boy that you was out of Oklahoma State. God, what's that boy's name, bro? I can't think of nobody's name right now. The one that got into a fight with
I know you're talking about.
I can't think of this dude's name. And then they picked up somebody else.
Rudolph, Pickett, and Trubisky.
Yeah.
Trubisky, Mitchell Trubisky, and Rudolph. Mason Rudolph. That's his name.
That's really a toss in the air at that point.
Yeah, them two.
They're gonna have to compete,
right? Because I think they got rid of the quarterback that used to come out that was out of Tennessee.
Yep.
The albino quarterback that was out of Tennessee. I forget his name. But yeah. So yeah, we'll see with Pittsburgh. We'll see how it pans out, man.
Yeah, it's a lot of it's gonna be exciting this year just because a lot of offensive players have moved around.
Yeah, all over the league. All over the
place. And it's like crazy.
Yeah,
you got Juju Smith who went from Steelers to the damn Chiefs to fill in the gap. It's crazy.
Yep. Can he be that filler for the cheetah out there in KC? Yeah, that's crazy. And then we know we got Marcus Mariota out in Atlanta as the back. It's like it's crazy right now. It's crazy. We got people all over. AJ coming to us. Like it's crazy. It's crazy across the spectrum, man. Across the spectrum.
Oh, who's coaching the Saints now since the coach retired?
Who is that Saints? What's that dude's name?
And who's our QB?
It's probably gonna be Jameis. It's probably gonna be Jameis. Dennis Allen is their head coach. Yeah, Dennis Allen is their head coach for the Saints. Yeah, but it's probably gonna be Jameis. I feel like they were satisfied where Jameis was when, of course, what Sean Payton was. I don't know about Dennis Allen, how he feels about Jameis, but they were satisfied with Jameis's production prior to his injury last year. So it is what it is. I think he's going to be.
That's a. Dude, we talk about players. How about coaches? Who has the most to lose this year as a coach?
The most who? The most what?
To lose. this year.
Oh,
Like
the
they,
most lose. Oh man, it's a few coaches that's out there that probably can that's probably on the hot seat coming up here this upcoming season. When it's all said and done, Andy Reid probably has one of them as well because the fact that Kansas City is has lost a key player and stuff like that. Dallas coach with what's his name? Uh, Dallas's head coach. I'm sure he on
McCarthy.
Mike McCarthy. Yeah, I'm sure he's on the hot seat because I'm sure.
yeah. How long has he been there? 2 years now, or going on second?
I think it's his third, ain't it?
Is he going on third? Yeah,
Third year.
Yeah,
he's a
McCarthy.
top.
I think it's his third. Yeah, yeah. And Jerry ain't about ain't about that. If you ain't producing nothing within the first few years, he ready to get rid of you. So,
Dallas has the most coach in the last 10 years. That's
they done had every coach in the league, bro, and then some, and then some. But oh man, that's our time, man. We appreciate y'all, man. It is First Formation. We want to thank y'all for tuning in to our show. Again, please feel free to join us every Monday through Friday, 09 to 1100 hours. And for you civilian personnel, that's 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. We greatly appreciate you. Enjoy the rest of y'all week. We want to thank Alvin for joining us today
Yes,
on the show,
sir.
coming in and giving his input. We really appreciate you, Trey. You got any closing words, sir?
Just as always, be sure to check us out. The First Formation fantasy football is coming up. Be sure to go to the group so we know your interest. So when we start sending out these invites, we get inviting the right people. We don't want to leave no one out that wants to be that want to catch this L that I'm handing out L's.
Here
now
we
Tua on your QB.
that part. Tell him again, bro. Tell him again. Alvin, you got any closing words you want to tell us?
I just want to say thanks for y'all show, man. I really do try to tune in every day.
That's
You
what's
guys
up.
give
Appreciate
great
it.
information. Some of us is always on the go, so you guys kind of close that gap between us and the sports, especially the military. I have my soldiers listening in with you guys with my phone at work, even though we don't work.
Yeah. I see that. I see you got the thing going on under there. I see you.
Hey, man, it's a new job in the Army. It's called advising. So
I like it.
advising foreign security forces.
I like it. I like it.
The great laughs and good show. You guys keep doing your thing, man.
Appreciate it, definitely.
With that being said, man, we thank y'all again. Y'all have a great day. First Formation, ball out. We'll holler back at y'all. See y'all tomorrow. 09.
Psi Rho Phi Military Fraternity Incorporated always representing. Appreciate y'all.